Good morning, boys and girls. How are we today? It's a wonderful day in paradise. You know it, guys? What have I got? What's old Steve-O got here today? Ooh, Dunkin'. Miss Daisy wanted her decaf coffee with extra cream, and she wanted a Boston cream donut. I don't know why. I guess because she's hooked on sugar. Dunkin' makes some good coffee, let me tell you. Yes, sir, they make some good coffee. Today's topic is toxicity. One of the most toxic things the USA has had in forever, guys. Quite a long time now. Quite a long time. A lot of toxicity right here now. And here it is, right here. Yeah, there it is. There's some toxicity right there. And so many people just adore him and his toxicity. You wonder, what's their IQ? Is it more than a Q-tip, maybe? I don't know. But it's amazing. It's amazing. We go through life, guys. We start out real stupid. I mean, really stupid. Okay. And then hopefully we can live through a lot of the stupid. We may not. We may just die of some stupid thing we've done. You never know. I mean, you get drugged out, you get drunk, you do stupid stuff, and everything on the left is stupid. I don't know what these people are smoking, guys. We all know what Hunter's smoking. I have no idea what our fearless leader right now, Joey, has got, what he's on. I know he's on ice cream, and that is melting his frickin' brain along with Nasty Nancy. Yeah, why don't they just wake up in the morning instead of having a cup of coffee, just drink a bottle of this right here. Little high fructose corn syrup. Jesus. Now, I was going to make up some candy to put in my... We've got two girls to put in. That's all that's hatched. And I've had some nukes that we made yesterday. You saw them. And I brought back to base camp. I made 3 up from the other yard brought here. And I'm going to take these 2 Virgies that I marked, and I'm going to put them in the cages, and we're going to stall those today. I want to get and look in all those other ones and to see what girls came back from that. And if they've got that thing, these new virgins that are laying, that came back and mated, and are laying, we'll kind of look at that. I don't want them to run out of room. So we'll take those 2 frames out and put them in a 5, center it in a 5, fill it out, reduce the entrance down to 0 hardly. Just a couple bees coming and going on those dial discs. I've got a huge robbing issue right now. There's not much field nectar coming in right now. I was looking at the tallow trees, and they're just poking just slightly. Nothing yet. I see the cabbage, saw palmetto is starting to bloom. I got tons of viburnum all in this neighborhood, and I think they call it privet too. It's in full bloom right now. Bees are working it. How much nectar they get, I don't know. But I don't have any major good crops around here. Well, look what Martin gave me yesterday. This is cool. You know, I've got my foam tool, my foam carrier, and he just, I guess this was a wind chime, and he put a little self-tap screw in here. He put another piece of pipe on here, and then he, on his tool, put a mark about here to where he could go into the foam. You don't want to punch clear through your bed foam. Let me show you. Here we go, here. These are nice. If you guys find any bed foam like this, save you some and cut it. And see what he did. He marked it to where he was down about here, just about where that nut's at. Whatever size foam you get, you're gonna have to figure it out on your own, and you know where to stop. You can chuck this up in a drill. He said that that'll go inside of a 3/8 drill. I've got to sharpen it yet. You put a nice sharp edge and you come on the inside and you take a little rat tail or a small file, maybe a chainsaw file, and clean that edge up in there so you get a nice bore through with your what would be nice, it puts this on a little drill press. And I'm thinking about buying a little cheap Harbor Freight drill press where I can just throw a little drill motor in there for boring the holes in my nuke tops, whether it be a 5 or a 2 frame nuke hole. They're running about 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches on those. But I could do the same thing with this if I'm boring these. Because if I get into selling cells and stuff, I may need the extra blocks that a customer could take with him, Yeah, I just tell them to bring a little cooler and some hot water bottles in there, and then give them a piece of foam with some holes, whatever they need to haul their cells home in. Yeah, today's topic is toxicity. I just put marshmallows in these, those little mini marshmallows. This is what we'll introduce our queens with today. And what I do is just, for ease, I've got them in the California minis, right? So I want to get them in here. All I got, and they're already marked. So, but what's nice too, if with your little pin down rig here, if you make one of these up, you can let her loose, let her crawl out on this foam, and see, you can put her right on there, walk around, and as you push down, you've got her cushion from below, and this is springy veil material here, as you can see. This doesn't hurt her, and you can just push her down. Don't get too nuts, just push her down until her thorax lines up with one of them squares, and you just push down and pin her slightly, and take your marker and mark her up, and then let up pressure and just let her walk around for a minute under there. She's not flying off, and blow on her a little bit. Those markers that I showed you were excellent, absolutely excellent. These markers here, you get it at the Man Lake and all, they're super expensive. I mean, that other marker I got is beautiful. It's only like a couple bucks, $3 at the most. I mean, it's flipping crazy. But anyway, yeah, our toxicity issue. If you have toxicity in your life, guys, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have toxicity, all right? You can't have that. If you want a long life, happy wife, happy life, yeah. I made Miss Daisy really happy with that table I showed you yesterday. That was pricey, yes, but there's a lot that goes into that. You got that spider leg contraption underneath. The long drawn out process of drying that log. Yes, it's a long process. And then it's got to go into a kiln. What he does, this is Chris, and it's called the Just Furniture. If you could pull up Just Furniture in Tarpon Springs, Florida, his name is Chris. Super nice guy. Now that project was really stretched out. He was really backed up. I mean, the guy's really, he's got 2 helpers, but he basically runs the whole show by himself. He's going to have to eventually bite the bullet and get more help because his business is growing. As people like me are out there promoting him. I didn't tell him I was going to promote him. I don't know if he's happy, sad, or glad about it. Whatever. I just thought I'd let you know if you need a piece like that. He does all kinds of stuff. He made a nice bench. I showed you the bench. So he does a lot of cool stuff. He's even got stuff, guys, when he does epoxy, it looks like a waterfall in different colors and wood. It's like a top, a desktop or whatever. He does bar tops, and it looks like it's spilling over. And if you turn a light on with this stuff, it's light penetrating material that he uses. When you turn the lights off, it glows. It actually glows, and it looks to just like a waterfall coming over the side of the table. Really cool stuff he does. But anyway, yeah, his name's Chris. He's in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and he's called Just Furniture. Just Furniture, I think, is the name of his company. But you'll find there's actually two companies in Tarpon Springs, and they're kind of competing. But I think Chris has got the better pricing. I did talk to that other fellow there. He does the same exact thing that Chris is doing, and I don't know their outfit, but you'll find them if you pull it up. Live Edge, pull up Live Edge Wood in Tarpon Springs. You'll find those two guys, and you can see all of their stuff that they do. I don't know. He took pictures of this table. He told me he had like 5 different people come in. I think Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday, as they have a certain time where the public can walk through his shop. It's kind of like a bombing range in there. Small operation, so, you know, they cut everything to the bare bones to make the maximum amount of profit, obviously, and so forth and so on. So check him out. But the main thing in here is toxicity. I showed you this clown. That's, you know, he's on his 3rd term now, 12 years. Yeah, Joe's not running anything. It's him that's running everything. Now him and Numbnuts Bill are working, all 3 of those, Larry, Curly, and Mo clowns are all working together to try to secure another term, a fourth term, would you believe, of Obama. Yeah, so that's toxic. We can't have that. If we have one more of those, that'll be the end of the entire USA. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, stick a fork in us. We are done. It won't be socialism. It won't be anything other than communism. That's all it'll be, and you'll have dictators running the thing. Now they're all saying, oh, if Donald gets in, our country's going to be toast. There goes democracy. No. Whatever they're telling you is the exact opposite. They are the ones destroying democracy. Okay? Anybody with just a couple little fuzzy brain cells left will know this and understand this. So, toxicity. I had to let a guy go. God bless him. Met him in high school in 1966. And how I met him was, I was in a woodshop class, and the teacher there saw me pulling out chunks of mahogany. And I was getting into taxidermy at the time, way back, and I wanted to make a sign up. Now, the letters on this sign were like 4 inches tall. So I had to spell out taxidermy. And all I did was take a stencil, put it on this mahogany, and then cut out each letter. And then I took a piece of oak and I glued the letters onto it. And then I was going to put a weatherproof seal because this sign was going to be hanging outside on a tree. Okay. And the teacher came by and saw, what are you doing? Do you know how much that stuff is, a board foot? I said, I don't know. It really doesn't matter, does it? Heck, it don't. That's just some, and all I wanted to do was work with that mahogany. I made a pipe tobacco canister. Back in the day, of all things, I thought I was Tom Huck Finn or something. I smoked a corncob pipe, of all things, with Prince Albert in it. And I needed a canister, tobacco canister, so I made one all out of mahogany, and I switched grains on it. I stacked them all up, glued it together, put it in a lathe and carved it down, made a lid for it and everything that goes in. It looked pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, he was on my ass all the time. The teacher, he says, "You're running up a tab from hell here. I don't. And before you get out of here, before you graduate high school, you're gonna have to pay this bill here on this wood that you're using." I said, "No problem, no problem." I kept putting him off, putting him off, putting him off. Would you believe, guys, I graduated from high school and never did pay that wood bill? Still bothers me today, to this day. Yeah. They were wasting so much money down there. It was crazy anyway, guys. Anyway, yeah, so getting back to my story, my old hunting buddy, he came over, saw me making a sign. He said, "What are you, you a hunter?" I said, yeah, I'm a hunter. I like to fish and hunt. I'd moved from Florida to Michigan halfway through my 10th year in high school. "Oh my God, that's what I do too," he says. I said, "Well, heck, me and I could probably be good hunting and fishing buddies." I didn't know anybody when I got there. Him and I hit it right off, and I lived on a farm. My folks bought an old farm, so I had all the hunting and stuff out back. He was getting into bow hunting, and I'd been bow hunting in Florida, and so I said, "I want to do some deer hunting with my bow." So we went out, and I got a shot and missed, a nice 4-pointer, and he got a doe. He got a doe that first outing we went on. It's quite amazing. And we just hit it off from there. It just expanded. So all these years, guys, we've since '66, and here we are, 2024, right? I had to let him go. Had to let him go. And if I hadn't run into that guy, guys, I probably would not be sitting here talking to you. Yeah, that was back in the day, guys, when Vietnam was just going crazy. I told my bud, I said, well, we're in high school. I said, well, we're fixing to go into the Vietnam meat grinder. I told him the AK-47 meat grinder. "No, not necessarily," he says. "I have a captain. There is a captain of the National Guard Armory in Lansing, Michigan. They have 6 howitzers. They have 6 deuce-and-a-halves. And we can get into the artillery. He told me when I'm ready to join, just come over and have a beer and we will talk." So he called him. I said, "Listen, bro, there's a list a mile long." He said, "All I can tell you is what he told me. When it's time for you to sign up," because there was a draft back then, you had to go. You're going there, you're going to jail, one of the freaking other, you know. So, anyway, I'm so glad you guys came by for a little coffee chat this morning. Isn't this lovely? Anyway, he said, "Not necessarily. We're not going to know. We're going to go to," he said, "I'm going to call him up." So he called him up. He called me back. He said, "Come on, come on." I said, "Let's go." So we go over there. Heck of a nice guy. He started popping beers, one after the other, telling war stories and hunting stories, fishing stories, you name it. He was an outdoorsman. Captain was pretty cool, but it was his last year in there. His last year. The next captain that came along, oh boy, was he a butthead. Oh, I didn't like that dude at all, but I really liked this guy. I mean, he was a really cool guy. Of course, it was his last year too. I mean, he could give 2 rips, you know. So we had about 6 beers apiece, went out of there about half hammered. And I said, well, he said, "Well, that's it, guys, you're in." I said, "Sir, how does that work?" I said, "There's a list a mile long, and he said, "Oh, there's ways to get around all of that. All of that." I said, "Well, okay, I appreciate it. And I really don't want to go to the Vietnam meat grinder." He said, "No, you don't. No, you don't." There was 58,000, and it's probably more like 60,000 guys that were just gone, just shoved through a AK-47 meat grinder, whatever. I mean, yeah. And there's bodies still over there to this day they've never found. Yeah. If I hadn't known this guy, my good friend, so that's how far we go back, guys. And I had to let him go the other day. I mean, it got to the point where you're cleaning your life up, all right? You're over the smoking, you're over the drinking, you're over drugging, you're over prescription pills. You're just, all you want is a happy life and a happy wife, okay? How are you going to get there? You're going to clean up your freaking act, okay? You're going to clean it up, okay? You're going to clean up your diet. You're going to clean up your lifestyle, all right? You're going to start working out daily. Yeah, daily, okay? And you're going to just feel better. You're going to feel so much better. And if you go on a carnivore diet, you've taken care of 90% of your problems right there. Mentally, physically, hormonally, the whole 9 yards, guys. It's unbelievable. Yeah, but my bud, he's just like, oh, I tell him, you know, he's like aches and pains. Oh, God, sitting there with it I'm about probably 1 minute after 12 in the afternoon, guys. Cannabis here and beer here. It's just all, and just get, you call him at 3 and 4 in the afternoon. I think he's totally passed out by 4. And it's just negativity, toxic negativity from about 12:05 till whenever he passes out. I mean, you know, and everything's wrong except him. Everything is wrong. And granted, he's bitching really hard on this guy right here, along with over half the country right now. I get it. But at some point, I told him, I said, what? Are you part of the problem or part of the solution, guy? What are you talking about? He says. I said, you're bitching and complaining and moaning every day. You've already had they wanted to do a 4-way bypass. They couldn't get enough arteries out of his legs, so he got a 2-way bypass. He's had a motorcycle wreck where he just busted a lot of stuff. And his skull too, cracked his skull, busted this shoulder all to hell, all kind of stuff, punctured the lung with a rib, compound fractured an ankle. Did this all in the driveway, guys, on asphalt. Went down to Michigan, went down to get the mail. He had like a 700, 800 foot driveway. He's coming back to the house. It's early spring, or like 32 degrees. There was still a little ice. And he's wanted to do an Evel Knievel shot, pop the freaking front wheel off the ground. It was a huge Honda motorcycle. That thing came up and over and slammed him into the asphalt that fast. Did all that damage, cracked his skull, shoulder punctured, compound fracture, laying there on the edge. And the only thing that saved his ass was the fact it was 32 degrees. They said he would have bled out and died probably right there because he was knocked out cold. And his wife came home. She was at the store like to crap herself when she came in and found him in a heap there in the driveway. She was freaking. Rent to the neighbor, the farmer neighbor next door. He came over. The two of them kind of gathered him up what they could, got 911, got him to the hospital, had to haul him way to hell down there somewhere. And he was in a long recovery on that one, guys. Long, you can imagine, freaking popping your shoulder, and he was medicated to the freaking max on that one. But he really never came around. Just constantly drinking and and smoking the cannabis, and you get altered, guys. You get freaking altered. I think cannabis is a wonderful God-given plant, but I don't think smoking it is cool at all. I don't care if you're vaping it, running it through a water bong, or what you're doing, but I think ingesting it will be okay if you ingest with, infuse MCT oil with it and work up the right of dosage for relaxation, pain relief, and sleep. I think it's a wonderful product. But that's just my opinion. Some people may say, no. You got to go down and get trazodone from your MD and let him go ahead and give you so much of that that you piss your pants at night. Yeah. Yeah, right. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate that. You didn't tell me I needed diapers with that drug. Now, did you? But anyway. Yeah, I sent him a little funny picture of one of my hunting buds. And what was the guy's name that did Twilight Zone? He was there, and he had a little block and thing. Imagine, and he says, Robert, it was Sterling, whatever. He said, can you imagine a world where the entire world is run by effing nut jobs? Something like that. It was a little funny, giggle, and I texted that to him. He comes right back really fast and furious, and I guess he thought I was talking about him. He says, well, I'll tell you one thing, if we don't get Donald J in there with this vote, with this whole country is screwed. Well, as if I didn't know that, right? So right then I knew. I said, he is already, it's not even noon, and he's already screwed up. So I thought to myself, I've had about enough of this guy's mouth. Absolutely, I've been listening to this mouth for a long time, and he's a hell of a nice guy if he's sober. You couldn't ask for a better friend if he's sober. But you turn into a toxic monster when you start drinking or drugging. Okay, guys? It's just the way it is. You have got to get this toxicity out of your life. And I told him real quick, I said, and he's got this monstrous gut sticking out here. I mean, he's just a walking heart attack and diabetes patient. Yeah, he's fixing to go down, guys. So I thought, well, you've tried this, talking to him, this and that. How about just go ahead and just lay it to him, okay? Just lay it to him. It's the only way you're going to he's going to walk away, or he's going to accept what you've said. Maybe not today, maybe a week from now, or whatever, when he gets sick and tired of being sick and tired and going, hey, my buddy told me to get it together. Maybe he isn't such an asshole that I think he is. And so I told him, I said, listen, why don't your fat ass, that's what I said to him. We're texting back and forth. Why don't your fat ass stop being a stupid asshole drunk and turn your life around? And he comes back, guys, with, you're supposed to be a friend of mine, and friends don't talk to each other like that. And I just came back with laugh out loud. I said, bud, you're out of control. Get your head out of your ass. And one other thing, I'm finding out in my life, and I've had to do this to about 6 of my friends, so-called friends, okay? Yeah. I told him, I said, listen, I have found out over the years, if I get these drunks and drug addicts out of my life gets so much better. You guys look at this shirt. Just do it, okay? Just do it. I'm advertising here, okay? He comes back, guys, with, you are wrong. And the way you're talking is, maybe you and I should just go separate ways as friends. And I came back with laughing my effing ass off to really send him. He came back with, well, if that's the case, I am out of your life. Goodbye. And I came back with one more LOL. Hey, there's no way, guys, you can sit and sugarcoat toxicity, okay? There's no way you're going to do it. I've had 2 brothers and a sister gone, basically from drugs and alcohol, okay? Gone. I've got 2 other sisters. I've got 3 other sisters. They are turning their lives around. They are finding out the benefits of carnivore diet and the toxicity of drugs and alcohol and the standard American diet, which is totally turns to alcohol and warps your flipping brain. Sugar does when it hits your belly button. Just totally destroys your life. So if you can't get rid of that stuff, you may just be one of those people, guys, that are going around and be toxic forever. Let's be positive thinkers. Get a hobby. Beekeeping, you can't ask for a better hobby, guys. You can do this in town. You can do it on top of an apartment complex if the homeowner, the building owner will let you. Yeah, you could do this on top of an apartment complex if it's got a flat roof on it and you got an access way to get up there. If nothing else, gather up what you got, buy a piece of property, and get out into the natural world and start doing what Steve-O does. Your whole life is going to change around, guys. I'm telling you right now, it is going to change. So I just thought I'd pass that along. How long he's going to be gone, my buddy, I don't know. And I care, but I really don't. Okay, because you don't need the toxicity. And that's all it is. It's going to take your life down. You just can't hang out with people forever and let them take you down with the ship, okay? They're going down with the ship. They don't need to take you down with the ship, all right? You got your own ship, forward ahead, and a nice peaceful life. Yes, longevity is what it's all about, guys. Enjoying what you do in life. Trying to be a little positive influence on you. There's nothing worse than a ex-smoker and an ex-alcoholic, okay? Because that's what I used to be. Yeah, never got into the drug, never did coke, sample little cannabis, smoking that crap. Nah, it's just, no, My drug of choice is nature. And these honeybees just fall in so nicely, guys, with nature. Yes. I've got all these girls here, guys. Yes. I got to find homes today, guys, for all these 2 girls right here. These 2 marked virgins. Yeah, this one here, this cell, that's a swarm cell right there. It hasn't hatched yet. But what's kind of cool, too, about these cages here, you can see if they cut the door open on them. They'll have a little hatch door. And sometimes you can look, you'll see a little round, you look at the bottom of the cages, these girls, you don't see a queen in there. But you see a little round disc that they've cut open, and it'll be laying in the bottom of that cage. Pull that cell out, pull that cell protector out, and pull this cup out of there, and carefully peel her back. She's trying to get out, but what a lot of times they do, they go back in. I see a lot of royal jelly in the top of these cells here, a lot of royal jelly. They'll crawl back up in to do more feeding in there. And sometimes they get stuck in there. yeah, sometimes they get stuck in there and you got to help them get on out of there. So anyway, I want to go out today and make up a bunch of, I've got, let's see, I've got, well, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got to get 10, 9 or 10. I made one up over at that other, I made 3 up at that other yard. So 2 of these queens are 8 up in these, and I'm going to drop a cell in one of the ones I made up. And so you can go either way. I mean, you can go put the cells in a cell protector and push them into the comb. Wait 24 hours after you make them up to do this. Have them queenless for 24. I wouldn't go more than that because they're going to start grabbing some cells, some eggs in there, start making their own queen. They may just reject this queen you're trying to put in. So my thing is make them up one day, try to get the queens in or cells in the next day. And so you can do that, just let these, if you want to just let these hatch. But my timing and all, we got Easter Sunday, I'm going to my son's place for a family gathering. So I want to get this done, I'll make these up, and then I will put them in tomorrow. Probably tomorrow morning I will put them in. And that way I got time, because we won't pull out of Dodge here until close to noon anyway. So I got them all morning to go ahead and get these cells into the new makeups. And now I'll haul them to my other yard over there. So anyway. So that's what's going on with Steve-O. I do want to get out here and see how many the only one I popped yesterday, the Mark Virgin Queens. It's been 3 weeks, and so she was in there laying. She came back, she got mated, she came back, she's laying, so that's cool, yeah. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. And we'll see what happens with this operation. But I had to go over toxicity with you. I know you guys have got the same scenario in your life. Everybody does. Everybody has the same situation. And don't feel bad about it. I mean, you have to think of your own life. You can't just, oh, am I gonna piss somebody off, or I just hate hurting feelings. No, they're past that. They're past that. They're drunk, they're toxic, they're not getting it together, and a lot don't. A lot don't get it together. I talked to my brother, one of my brothers, umpteen times. It went in here, it went out there. I told him, stop being an asshole, stop drinking. Couldn't hold a job. Could have, but wouldn't. He's drinking. The people are going, we don't need an idiot drunk running around here. We have a business to run. We don't need stupid, okay? And so that's where we're at. And so anyway, thought I'd pass it along. If you guys have got any issues like this in your life, don't feel bad about it. Do not feel bad about it. You're probably doing the person a good thing. Possibly. But they may not grab the ball and run with it. They may just, I don't care what that asshole thinks, I'm gonna continue what I'm doing because I'm smarter than he is. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine, guys. That's all I got for you today, guys. I'm gonna get out here and I'm just letting them warm up. It's cool this morning. It's 47 degrees here in sunny Florida. I couldn't believe it. But it's gonna get up 75 here shortly, and I'll get out here and work my bugs. I'm gonna go through all these hives. I'm gonna check all those virgins. What ones didn't make it back? I shouldn't have any wax moth damage to speak of yet, so I can snatch those frames out and utilize those into other hives that I'm going to rob more frames of to make up the 2 framers that I'm going to haul in my other yard. Okay, I'll see you guys real soon. Be happy, be strong. We got to keep getting it on. See you on the next one. Bye bye.